Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure seeing everybody so fresh and perky this morning. Our team will present our findings on the cryptos supply chain problem, and here's a brief overview of what we're doing here. First, we'll go over sourcing evaluation, that is our strategic positioning in China. Supply chain management, global positioning choice, we'll go more in details about our sourcing evaluation. Then quality improvement measures, PR and marketing campaign, and then we'll recap it later on. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the first thing is current outsourcing model is flawed. We want to make clear that by insourcing we mean still staying in China, but using our 4 plants in China that we already have, using our proprietary capacity. And by outsourcing we mean actually our first contractors and their contractors, our subcontractors. And by implementation of Zara model, we mean the example of Spanish clothing fashion manufacturer Zara, which is a best-in-class company in terms of supply chain. They in-house, in-source, they are volatile, unpredictable products that have high risk of flopping, as opposed to they outsource the products that have predictable demand and they can supply their subcontractors and contractors with a steady stream of jobs. Next, please.
I'm going to be talking about the supply chain management. Currently, in the current market, consumers expect a high level of quality at a low cost. However, currently, the industry of Dominards, we are providing low cost, but at the expense of quality. It's a long-term problem that needs to be addressed through the proper management of the supply chain. We plan on implementing a balanced scorecard system that would measure companies on the basis of quality, flexibility, cost management, communication, and on-time delivery. This would promote continuous improvement, reduce the costs of production, raise the quality, and it would provide more efficient logistics. This allows for more supplier involvement. They reduce their own costs, and it's essentially a win-win situation for everybody. The results will provide key benefits such as increased sales for them, reduced bullwhip effect, and fewer production interruptions and changes. And I'll pass it back to Sergey.
Thank you, Ranil. So back to our substantiation for staying in China. This is one of our first strategic decisions to not to move anywhere from China. We'll discuss as to our temporary measures as to halting the production in our problematic first-tier suppliers. However, our plans, as indicated in case, they did not show any problem with quality, and we will continue using them. Meanwhile, this is our substantiation of staying in China as opposed to shifting to Malaysia or other regions. It's a fast-growing market. If you look at the distribution of the markets, it's second largest, Asia is the second largest market after the United States. And as per literature we provided to the judges, our findings were that India, China, and the rest of the Asia Pacific is expected to have a demographic boom. Thus, we expect that Dominards would be in high demand. So we already have a strategic positioning for expansion into this market. That is one of the reasons why we would like to stay in China. Next thing is logistic and distribution advantage. If you take a look at their cost distribution across the industry, it's only 5%. It is a relatively cheap, it is relatively low cost for transportation. And then again, we are close to our future consumers and to our second largest market. Another thing is favorable spatial relationship with our suppliers. As per literature provided, we found 3 companies that deal resin and other polymers and their derivatives that are traded in Shenzhen and Shanghai stock trades with market capitalization of about between 3.4 to 33.8, which is small to medium suppliers, but they suit our purposes. Another thing is resin prices were in a steady climb as of 2007, as found in our literature. So were prices of crude oil, gas, and every other indicator showing that it is moving out of further away from the suppliers would actually increase our raw material cost, which I believe constitutes 45%. We don't want to add anything to that. Current relationship. We spent 40 years in this region building relationships, maintaining CBOA and other strategic relationships, and we would like to keep them. It takes a lot of time. It's even hard to put a price tag on something like that. And offset shareholders. We contemplated a doomsday scenario of actually liquidating 4 plants out there and moving to other regions. One thing as a production operations manager is we would like to say it would be a total disaster. And another thing, it would be the stock would probably take a deep dive and upset the shareholders. We definitely wouldn't like to do that. We'd like to stress that, before I pass it to my colleague, that they are world-class quality standards. They are champions in that industry. Their standards were adopted by an international body that actually provides standards for quality. They have 170 people on the ground. They only need to enforce those rules. Jim.
Hi, my name is Jin. I will be talking about the quality improvements we have made to want to implement to the crypto manufacturers. Basically, we can see the quality problems coming from 2 tiers, one from the design part and one from the material part. Okay, as far as the design part, we're not talking about the product itself. We're talking about the design of the process. So as we say, as we say the small parts fell off, it's actually, we can try to have a simpler manufacturing process, and then we want to enforce the rules that are already there in order to actually create total quality management. This way we actually implement the quality into the process. And then also for the material, we want to do a supplier quality assurance program. So basically, this is a program that implements Duran's 9 steps, all the way from understanding the predefined quality requirements down to create and use supplier quality ratings. And this way we can actually work with the suppliers, and hopefully everything will be great. And I will pass it down to Sandra for PR and marketing.
Thank you, Yan. We recommend that crypto address the repercussions of the recall with an effective PR campaign. By voluntarily halting production at the problem facilities, we will both be doing an ethically correct thing, and it's the best course of action from a legal standpoint. And this also favors shareholder interests. Crypto will proactively communicate quality improvement plans to the External and Independent Monitoring Committee, SIMCO. And as the largest manufacturer of dominards in the U.S., we will allocate PR campaign resources accordingly. And finally, crypto will continue to champion quality standards through the supply chain for all product lines.
One more time to recap, we're staying in China. We're switching to Zara model of insourcing the volatile products, outsourcing the steady products to basically incentivize our suppliers to enforce our QMS standards down to their second-tier suppliers. PR campaign.
Time's up.
Time's up. Thank you.
Thank you.